asked this question, many of my predecessors in the methodology. And it's based upon a faulty premise that we came to power. The PRC came to power, Commissioner. It was not, no. You have to admit, and I'm not going to argue this case. The PRC came to power. The PRC's military organization is rules. The Progressive Alliance of Liberia and Moja did not come to power. And I can tell you that we did not have the ability to affect the changes or to facilitate the process or to cause the historical change that you so want us to be a part of. We could not change it, Commissioner. We couldn't. If you know the things that you know now, that in less than 2 years after the coup, because of the East-West rivalry, because of the machinations by outside forces against the progressives within the government, that we were no longer part and parcel of that government. You know that, Commissioner. But yet you continue to say that we have the reins of power. So wherever that is written, we need to strike that out. We never had the reins of power. The reins of power was not given to Marcus Matthew, Oscar P. Samuel Jackson, D. Kankala. The PRC had their own set of Master Sergeant Samuel Doe was in executive. The People's Prudential Council had a council that was headed. They made decisions. We just took orders from them. Now, Nuremberg said that the thing of just taking orders doesn't work. But guess what? Commissioner, I left 1981 before they put military uniforms. I was very lucky, and I was hoping somebody would ask that question. I was very blessed that I left 1981 because not too long thereafter they put the members of Kyle and Moja put them in the uniforms so they could conform to UCMJ or what they thought was UCMJ. So there was not a military arrangement, Commissioner Coleman. This was a military arrangement with clear objectives, and I believe not too long after the coup, and I'm going to tell you a story today that for the record, and I'm going to call her name because the person wrote a book. Frank P. Cataloso, the public affairs officer at the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia at a particular time, I've written a book. And that book is called Noble Boss Man. That book is a fictional account of the coup, but it is very clear from Mr. Cataloso's fictional account that this is his recollection of history. I saw Mr. Cataloso at the executive mansion telling the PRC on April 13, 1980, that they did not have enough arms and ammunition. They should not be shooting the guns, and they should be stationed in many certain places. And does that say the U.S. government was involved in it? Of course not. But it would have been Mr. Cataloso's own means of ensuring that it was not a counter that would have destroyed more lives and property. Now, Ed Moose came to Liberia, as you've heard, and they began to influence Samuel Doe to put him in the orbit of the West because there was an East-West rivalry in 1980. We did not fit the bill of people who were going to collaborate with putting this government into the orbit of the Northern Treaty Organization. They believed we were communists. They believed that we were going to institute a left-wing communist regime into this country, and who will be expropriating properties, who will be nationalizing industries, and all of those things that socialist countries had done before. So if we had the power, Commissioner Sherman, to be able to take full power, we would not have been out in 2 years. We would have stayed the course, and we would have been the powers that be. But we were not. There were other forces that were teleguiding the process. And there are other forces teleguiding the process in Liberia today. There is a rivalry now between the East and the West, and that is playing right here within Liberia today, where there's some fear that people from the East should not have a major commercial presence in Liberia because they want access to our resources. And there's another country from the West who wants to have access or open access to our resources, and so they do not want a major commercial presence of people from the East. And I believe some of the stalemate we've seen, just physical transformation and our development, is due to that stalemate. Today, we're even affected today. The Chinese want to do the hydro. The Americans don't want the Chinese to do the hydro. The Chinese want to do the Cape Mountain Highway. The Americans want to do that. Global Witness, the Sierra Club, and Consolidation International, they don't want any working in this country because they want to sell carbon credits. It's still going on. People interfering in the internal affairs of this country to have unfettered access to our resources. And the manipulated national leadership put it against each other. And this is the current debate that is happening, and we should debate this as Liberians. Okay? The foreign policy. Well, of course, it's difficult to discuss the foreign policy construct when you have 14,000 men and women armed and protected. So you can't have an independent foreign policy. So you can't use your foreign policy as a means of constructing the physical infrastructure of this country for economic development. And that debate continues.